for some, they would imagine, or they would say, it looks like the House is, well, pained by what happened, what transpired between one of its members and the DG of SEC, because it's just not now that she was appointed as the DG of SEC for anyone to have spotted any kind of anomaly in her appointment.
You know, that's far off, because it's an individual case. The characters that are involved, we said the law should take its course. The chairman of the House Committee, of course, the relevant government agencies are taking on the matter. The courts are taking on that matter. We have said we are not in solidarity with anybody on this issue, but we are looking at the issues on on the face, and we're looking at the issues in-depthly. These are the issues on ground. We are not taking side with anybody. Far from it.
We've got this question coming through from Emmanuel Wolfone. He's a banker from Asaba. He likes to know. He says, we should please ask you, what qualifications do you mean that the DG of SEC doesn't have?
Yeah, you see, we made it very clear, and of course, if you look at the in-depth report of El Sudi, he took on, well, what they call it, what are the necessary qualifications, what are the necessary exposures the DG must have, especially in the relevant field where she is, in SEC. What experience does she have in SEC? How many years has she spent there? Or what cognitive experience has she had? Those issues are there. I may not simplistically be able to tell you one after the other now, because there are issues that were considered over time, but I know that these issues are very clear. We've made it very public, and of course we say that let anybody who has, and before we arrived at that, we called a public hearing, and the Nigerian public was awash with the sitting, which was live. Everybody told us, every stakeholder came and spoke about the issue. So, and when we draw conclusions from there, I don't think people should take anything very personal. We are looking at these issues targeted towards moving this country forward, because we have found ourselves where we are today because of this consideration that looks very, very, very out of place. What I mean out of place, meaning that maybe extra consideration apart from the due lay down issues on every subject matter that affects the Nigerian project. So as far as we're concerned, we have got nothing very personal, and these qualifications that we have said, part of it is that the exposure in the security. Yes, you could be a very brilliant professional computer scientist, but and of course a banker, but does it still say that does it qualify you as being a stock exchange expert? These are issues that are very, very clear. And I know that those who are in the industry exactly know what I'm talking about, apart from being very, very emotional on this matter.
Well, it might be very clear to you and some other people in the industry. For some, they still would want us to look at it more carefully. The word cognate there, they say, also could pass for what we have just experienced, meaning you can also have a linked experience. You mustn't necessarily be a practitioner in that, should I say, field of stock market operations. So that makes her a qualified person for someone who's worked in that line for a whole lot of years before coming into the country to take up this job.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, where she worked, is it a stock exchange or a bank before coming to the current office? Sorry, I'm throwing back the question to you, Suleiman.
You are an expert, you know. Well, that shouldn't be the case.
Suleiman, I'm not an expert, but I'm just trying to say that I know that she worked in the ADB, and of course I'm aware of that, but I don't know whether I might not be right, whether ADB and the stock exchange are the same. They're not the same. At least my simple knowledge of this field tells you that they're not the same field. And of course, these are issues that practitioners have come to tell and have said it. And the laws are there that are very clear. I think I need to bring up Honorable Sudi back so that these issues, you could see them in a very clear perspective, so how we came into these conclusions.
And we said, matter, it was just about the law, nothing more. It wasn't about her competence. It wasn't about the fact that, you know, she had tried her best to manage the best way she can. It wasn't that the stock market wasn't making progress. It's just about the fact that she did not fulfill certain or one clause in the entire law. So assuming that, you know, she was doing pretty well and she was one of the best that we had, or possibly the best, we would say because the law doesn't support you, then she'll have to leave.
Yeah. She has to leave. The law will always take its course at every point in time. And you know that we are very, very clear about the law all the time. Each time any issue comes up, even when it involves our members, we will always tell you that let the law take its course, because the law is not worth anything than being obeyed. When it is obeyed, that is what makes it law. And that's exactly what we should continue to practice, so that our laws will definitely get deeper and will continue to live in accordance with law. A lawless society, it's where nobody obeys any law. Then it is anarchy, or calling for anarchy.
In that case, then, how come, because it does come across to so many people, especially upon your resumption, that you seemed silent about the law taking its course with respect to Representative Farouk Lawan on this alleged bribery matter? The House was silent about it. Why?
No. The House is not silent about that. You know that there is a committee that has worked on the ethics issue of Farouk Lawan. The committee has not submitted the report. The committee will submit its report in the next few days. And when it submits its report, the findings of that committee will tell you the ethics aspect of it. The law aspect of it, which is prosecution or investigation, is with the police and, of course, the courts. So as far as we're concerned, there's no matter that we're sweeping under the carpet. Rather, we're putting these issues in right perspective. And we always encourage that the law should always take its course. So on that issue, we are not giving it an exception. That is very, very clear. And that, just like we said, if other arms of government throw up individuals who have been called to questions, whose integrity has been called to question this way, I'm sure that we'll get mileage. We will get mileage. There's no solidarity in this matter. We said this issue is individualistic. Let everybody take his cross. And that's what we have done in the House. From the blast of the whistle, we have never been contradictory on this matter. We've been very, very clear as a House. We came up with the resolutions, and they are very, very distinct from the issues on ground. So, Chamberlain, I want to say that we have not applied an exception on the Farouk Lawan's case.
Why is it taking so long? Because, I mean, the House was on recess for 2 months, and it's taken forever, it would seem, for the Ethics Committee to come up with his report. They started sitting before the House went on recess.
No, the assurances I have for you is that the House had been on recess for 2 weeks, or for 2 months. Before then, the committee was working on his report, and the chairman said he will be ready with his report. And I'm sure that any time from now, the report will be laid to the House, and it will be made public. You will get to know what exactly is contained in the report. There's no under-table dealings in this matter, no. As far as we're concerned, this is the National Assembly, the House of Representatives, and this is where Nigerians should find their confidence in. We cannot continue to say that one or our individuals are greater. Even me. Once integrity is called to question, you must answer or pay the supreme sacrifice, and that's exactly it.